Now, Gazelle Sharmahd, had her on the show before, okay? And I want to bring her in now because she has been listening to what's been said about the hostages. And there are 2 points. One, her father's a hostage, being held by the head of the snake, Iran, right now. Wasn't part of the deal. That's when I had him on last time. Wasn't part of the deal that America made to get people back. He's still there. They spoke to him recently, and it kind of crystallized in her mind. I can't believe people are saying that hostages are being well treated, even if they say that when they come out, and how cavalier everybody is about what this means for the families of those who are still being held. And I wanted to bring her on right now to discuss it. Gazelle. Hello?
Hi.
There you are. You look like me at the anchor desk. So I appreciate you doing this, and I know there's so much pain for you, but I know you're trying to put it to purpose. And that's why when you sent me the message, I told you I'll always respond because we need your voice. First, remind people about where your father is and what that means, and then tell people how you feel when you hear about the hostage is saying they're being treated fine. And, you know, this is okay. It's Israel that really has to stop the violence. Give us your take.
Sure. Thank you so much, Chris, for having me here again. We know the hostages in Gaza are held there for 66 days. Today is the 1,228th day that the Islamic regime is holding my dad hostage. They kidnapped him. You know, he's a U.S. national. He's a German national. They kidnapped him and took him to Iran. We don't know where they're holding him. They took away all of his rights, the right to a lawyer, the right to call us. He can call us maybe once or twice a year. They knocked out his teeth. They're torturing him, and they gave him the death sentence. So right now, we don't know when they're going to pull him out of his solitary confinement torture chamber and hang him from a crane to die. So when I hear people talking about hostage takers in a humane way, I cannot stop. And that's why I called you and said I need to be on this show to educate people, because maybe 3.5 years ago, I didn't know what I was talking about. But one thing, before I go into detail, is clear. Hostage taking is a crime, even if the hostages are treated nicely. That is as if you're saying this rapist is nicer than that rapist because he used lube or whatever. That is just disgusting to say. It is a crime to kidnap people. It's a crime to take them hostage, to use them like that. So even if they are treated nice, but they are not treated nice. It is not just my dad's case that I'm describing. I didn't just become an expert on hostages because of my own experience with my dad's case. I have looked at every hostage case of the Islamic regime in the last 44 years. I have talked to all of the families. I have talked to hostages that returned. And most importantly, the most experienced people about hostage diplomacy are actually the people inside of Iran, because what these terrorists do to hostages is the same thing that these terrorists are doing to the people of Iran when they take in political prisoners. They taught me all of the important things that I need to know. So it's 4 things, first of all, that hostage takers want. One is money. The Islamic regime wants billions of dollars of the frozen assets. Hamas wants humanitarian aid that they're then not giving to their people. The second thing is diplomatic and political gains. Like the Islamic regime wants sanctions relief. They don't want the IRGC to be on the terrorist list. Hamas wants a ceasefire because they cannot use the hostages and the civilians for too much longer as a humanitarian shield. The third thing, and this is very important, is they want to win in the court of public opinion. So how do they do that? And this is where the performance of hostages comes in. We see that time and time again when political prisoners are taken in, like somebody is demonstrating, protesting on the streets, they're taken by the police, they're beaten up, they're tortured, and then they come in front of the TV and they do forced confessions. They say how bad they were, that they were actual criminals, that they were spies, the regime was right to take them, and that they would be treated so nicely. This is a performance, and we have seen this for 44 years. So when these hostages come out and they look, first of all, when they look well-fed, and when they say they got medication, they probably did, because a dead hostage is not a good hostage. So first of all, they have to be kept alive. That's number one. Number two, though, when they're coming out and saying how well they were treated and waving at the hostage takers and doing that kind of thing, this performance is a performance because, first of all, they've been tortured. The other hostages that are left behind, their kids, their neighbors, whoever is there, their husbands, they're being tortured. And that is how they get them to do that. So that's important for everybody to know.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.